Ah, yes. If you buy one Canadian album, if you buy all the Canadian albums, you might want to start with this one right here. That's Blue Rodeo's Greatest Hits album, and we have got a very special guest tonight on Unsportsmanlike content. Brad May is with us once again, but tonight we've got a massive show tonight, Mayday. We're looking forward to this one, and as we mentioned, Blue Rodeo. Let's talk about Canada's Walk of Fame, the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, multiple Juno Award-winning, proud Canadian band, and one of the greats from this band, Jim Cuddy, is here with us tonight. How about a big hand for Jim Cuddy, who is with us tonight on Unsportsmanlike. We've got the crowd fired up. Jim is here.
Hey.
Thanks for doing this, Jim. We appreciate it. How are you?
I'm great. Love to be on. Thank you.
Well, thanks for being here. And you two have a little bit of friendship. Why don't we talk a little bit about how you two know each other? It's a good get for us, Mayday.
It sure is, and I'll tell you what, I'm so excited. My friend Jim Cuddy is our guest. Jim and I play hockey together. We've raised some money in charities locally here in Ontario, but also back probably 21 years ago in Vancouver and Whistler. We did an event with Brian Burke and Dave Nonis and Barney Bentall, who's a dear friend of Jim's. And I'm really lucky. When we won the Stanley Cup with the Anaheim Ducks, Jim was on with us for the ride.
Did you play the cup party?
No. That was because Barney's daughter's married to Rob Niedermeyer, who was on the team. So there was that connection. It was actually kind of rough, right? Because it was kind of anti-Canadian to be cheering for the Ducks.
Yes.
But I just want to mention that. Do you remember that Howie Meeker was our coach?
I do.
Okay, and do you remember that he didn't want any of the civilians on the ice when there were good players on the other side? You told me to just go on, and I went on because I wanted to play against Fedorov. He was incredible, right? And Howie was on the side going, Jim, get off, Jim,
what a voice.
Get off. Yeah, and you said just.
And you did play against Fedorov?
Of course.
What a thrill.
I didn't go all the way to Whistler to just play against other guys like me. So he was a good guy. So go on.
Jim, you've played against a lot you've played against musicians, you've played against hockey players, you've played with and against Hollywood stars. You've got some history here, Maple Leaf Gardens. Just the love of the game for you. Before we get into the music side, I do want to ask you, the love of the game for you has been going your whole life, and you've had a chance to play here, alumni games, Juno Cup games. Maybe just a thought on the passion that you have for the game, because as we've talked about many times, athletes love musicians, musicians love athletes. You both have that mutual respect for the other's craft.
Absolutely. I think there's been a great camaraderie among all the, a lot of the Canadian hockey players are really, really good, generous people. The Doug Gilmours of the world, you ask them, can you come to Winnipeg to play in this game? Okay. Even though he's got to come back and play the outdoor game the next morning, and it's, and you know how he acts. So, but so we've had this opportunity to play. I can always there's a lot of musicians that play, really good hockey. My son Devin, Sam Roberts,
right.
A lot of people. So we've had this great thing, raise money for charity, and it all has to do with the generosity of the NHLers who are willing to come out, take their time. We try to give them music and make them have fun, but it's a generosity of spirit.
And he's got game, doesn't he?
Oh, he is. I'll tell you what, silky little toe drag he has, and I'm sure if his sons are watching right now, Devin and Sam, they're probably calling. My nose is growing
they're
right
laughing.
now. But
they're
no,
laughing.
I swear to God, we'll beat them. If you want, we'll play against them next time.
Against my sons?
Yes, 100%. We'll set you up for a hat trick.
That's not going to happen.
You've got some muscle here.
My job is to feed my sons. I get secondary assists all the time.
I love it.
Well, as mentioned, we've got a special show tonight. We think Ernie Clement is going to stop by. We know George Springer is going to stop by. You're a baseball guy as well. I want all of us to just kind of handle this night and just kind of ask questions with athletes and musicians, have some fun. You've got a little history, too, with baseball because I think it was 2018, Jim. You threw out a first pitch. Here we are, buttering him up as well.
Why are you bringing this up? You know very well.
Was the walk-up music Tumbling Dice by the Stones? Am I getting this right?
The walk-up music was in the dirt. No, I'd really practiced for that thing. I really wanted to throw from the mound, and I wanted it to be, accurate. And it was dead level.
Yeah.
It was good. And, again, you get on that mound, that catcher's far away, a lot farther than you imagine. But it was wide, and it hit the ground. So my ball is scuffed, right? And when I went back up to the booth or the suite where my sons were, they just ripped me for a week. For a week, yeah.
Have you still got the ball?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Were you nervous?
Yeah.
You had to.
Yeah,
I mean, you play in front of
it's
big
like,
crowds,
definitely. But you know what? I think everybody has to have the experience of choking. Like, I absolutely choked. And
We
I
do it
think-
here every
I
night.
think, wow, yes. I mean, I don't usually choke in my world, but
Yeah.
in the sports world, it doesn't feel good.
Go ahead.
I can tell you, I've done it once. I was able to throw out the first pitch at the Anaheim Angels game after we won the Stanley Cup into the dirt.
No.
Yeah, it was
From
worse.
the mound?
It was worse than Anthony Fauci. Do you remember that one with the Nationals? It was
Yes.
worse than Dr. Anthony Fauci. Terrible.
You're a Toronto band, and I once heard you describe you were a Toronto bar band coming up. I wonder if you could take us back to that scene, because Toronto has had a long, rich history with not only Canadian bands, international bands. We could talk about the Stones dropping in and playing places.
Yeah.
But for you, what was that scene like in the 80s when you were cutting your teeth in Toronto as a bar band, when there was talent everywhere and people were coming to your shows and going, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great description, because Greg and I had gone down to New York, 81, because there was no scene left on Queen Street. It was all died. Down there 3 years, come back, there's a full scene. There's all this neo-country, Lost Highway stuff. People are supporting each other, and there's no end to the number of people coming down. There's a very supportive scene. It was run by a guy named Handsome Ned. And Handsome Ned promoted this very team-like atmosphere. It's like everybody supported each other. Everybody came to each other's shows, played. And that honestly, that set the seed for all the things that we do. We always try to play with our opening acts, get them up to sing Lost together, just foster this system of everybody playing with each other. So that Queen Street scene was absolutely essential for our growth, and we had trouble leaving it. Like when we could play Massey Hall, we were like, I don't know, it's not gonna
Really?
be that much fun. Yeah.
Because it was big, because it was
so fun. It was so much fun. But then it was getting weird. It's like people were acting weird after a while. So it was time to go. But it was a difficult transition.
Do you have a favorite venue?
Well, there's a couple things. Massey Hall is certainly. Look at those guys.
Look at this.
Look at those Blue
Boys.
Jays. All right.
Come on in. We'll continue with this.
George,
because
Brad May.
Ernie, Ryan, how are you? George, Ryan, come on in.
Jim Cuddy,
Grab
such a
mic.
pleasure.
So Jim,
Ernie, such a pleasure. How you doing? How are you, man?
boys, Jim Cuddy, one of the lead singers with Blue Rodeo.
All right.
Canadian royalty in music in this country
Yeah.
and abroad everywhere.
All right.
And he knows your work with the Blue Jays. So yeah, come on in here. We'll get you a little closer. So this is kind of a neat mix of music and sport. And we were just saying before you got here, boys, that neat mix of, you guys tip your caps to musicians. A lot of athletes always wanted to be rock stars. Rock stars always love baseball players and hockey players. I don't know about your love of music or where you come out on it, but maybe what you're listening to, who you're into these days.
I like the old school rock and roll, man.
Yeah?
It's as cool as it gets. So yeah.
Who was your
We
band,
love
Ernie?
it. I like the Eagles. Kind of all that whole era is just awesome. So
Classic rock, George?
yeah,
So
exactly.
currently I'm stuck on the new Luke Combs album.
Okay.
Big fan of Luke, so I probably listened to that album, I don't know, probably 15 times,
Okay.
start to finish already.
Jim, I mean, Blue Rodeo, you guys have always had that really neat mix of country and some folk and some great hard rock and some, great melody. I mean, what are you listening to now? What kind of moves your needle?
Now, I usually listen to friends. Jen Grant's record. I listen to a lot of Canadian music.
Yeah.
Geez, what am I listening to?
Do you do a lot of country? Is there anybody in the country
yes
genre?
and no.
Okay.
I mean, I think that I think in a broad sense we're a country band, but in our sense we're a country rock band.
Yeah.
Like we're not really a country band, but we love that music. When we do these charity nights, we all pick old country songs.
Right.
Because it's fun. But it's not what we really play.
Yeah.
And so we're actually more like, like a Canadian Eagles.
Right.
We're just
Yeah.
a broader palette. So, yeah, I mean, I listen to, you know what I'm listening to now? My son Devin's new record.
Okay.
Which is just, it won't come out yet, but it's awesome.
What is it?
It's, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
What is it?
You don't want to pigeonhole
Are you
anything.
trying not to spoil it, or are you just...
No, not trying to
trying to
spoil
figure
it.
it
It's
out?
just that well, that's a good one. I thought when I first listened to it, it was kind of a barrel house record, like a bar record.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more emotion to it too, and so it's got. I mean, a lot of what defines what I like is good playing. Like he's got a great guitar player. He's a good piano player. He's a good singer. So his new record,
We'll keep an ear open
He'll love
for
this.
it.
He'll love that I
now,
talk
you
about
should know, George, his daughter
Yeah.
and her husband,
It's her
Houston.
boyfriend, but he was raised in Houston.
Oh, okay.
So you are the only person that unites them.
Oh,
right?
good.
Because she's a real Jays fan, and so all the way through, it's like, because I didn't know you guys were coming on, and all of a sudden I'm getting these messages. You're on with Ernie and George. What's going on? I was like,
a thrill.
I thought I was just on with Brian.
I love
with
that.
Brad and
I love
Ryan.
that.
Opening night, Friday, against the Oakland Athletics. I know we'll get into this season. I think everybody wants to look back at last season as well. And, I mean, you're a world champion, but you know that run was special. Maybe a question to both of you, gentlemen. How do you describe that run now that you've had some time to not only absorb it and kind of maybe turn the page to a degree, but maybe still be fueled by it?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, it was unlike anything you can describe. You can't really put it into words. Obviously, we didn't have a great year in 24, and then to come back and to do what we did last year, to get to within, an eyelash of where everybody wants to go and wants to be, is cool. You're right, and you learn from it, you enjoy it. But I just think, special moments with special guys like him are things that you can't get those back. So it's just such a special year, honestly.
Ernie, I mean, you talk about that brotherhood with that. I think the people, the fans, everybody on the outside felt that. I mean, that was a unique group.
Yeah, we were close. We were really, really close, and we got a lot of guys returning, so it should be more of the same. But we just had so much damn fun. It was so cool to show up to the park every day with your boys and go to war with them. So we just had an incredible amount of fun.
And you're a hockey player, well documented. You're here tonight. Your favorite Toronto Maple Leaf, and being here in Toronto. What's it like living here as a baseball player? Do you love it?
Yeah, I mean, I like to think I play baseball a little bit like a hockey player. I don't mind getting dirty. I don't mind, throwing the body around a little bit. But, I just have so much respect for hockey players and, how they are as human beings. And, I grew up hanging out with hockey players. So they're about as cool as it gets. And, they got a great group of guys here. So they're easy to root for.
Right on. And how about you, George? Hockey? Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Yeah, I went to Avon Old Farm, so I went to
I practiced there once.
Yeah, so I went to school with some big boys, so I got to watch some good hockey in high school.
Big names.
Yeah, I mean, what one's actually here tonight, so it's cool to see him still playing. But for me, right, like I think this is one of the coolest places to go, to watch a game. Obviously, a very historic place to be. So I love it, man. I love hockey. I will watch it every night. Just really enjoy it, and really truly respect, everything that they do out there, because it is not easy, man.
We have to get into that home run. Everybody knows it. Maybe take us back to Game 7, 7th inning. This photo. When you see that photo, what do you think, George? Because I know what Jays fans and Canadians across the country think. Right. When you see that, what comes to mind?
Well, I don't remember it. I honestly, I don't. Yeah, from when I watched the ball kind of go over the outfielder, I can truthfully say I have no idea what happened. I could have ran into the stands, and I wouldn't have known. Just one of those moments, I guess, right, where it's not for me. It's not that I didn't believe it, I couldn't do it. It's just one of those, like, I can't believe that happened moment. And when I guess I unblacked out, if that's even a word, I was sitting next to Dalton Varsho on the bat rack, like half bent over, like out of breath. I honestly don't know what happened between when the ball left my bat, but I can get you up to the at bat. I can't get you anything else after.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
I honestly have no idea. So anything that's happening on that screen or any picture, whatever you see of me, whatever you see of him, I don't know.
All blacked out.
Yeah, I don't. I have
Do you
no
remember
idea.
it, or were you just
God,
like
no.
wires are crossing?
It's just one of those things where you just get fried. Your brain is just fried.
You know what, Ernie broke a record, Major League Baseball record, over 30 hits in the postseason. Go back in the moment. What are you thinking? You're just in the zone.
Yeah, I was locked in, but it was just a really simple approach. I was trying to get on base and, trying to work a good at-bat, and all we cared about in the playoffs was winning the game. So it made my job simple. I get on base, and it's going to help us win. So, I was never trying to do too much. I just trusted my preparation, and it was a lot of fun.
I'll give you the real answer. It was sick. It was sick.
You
to be
guys
able to
felt
do
it.
that at
Yeah.
that stage, to set the major league record for hits is unbelievable. So it's sick.
You know,
We thought so.
Yeah.
sometimes when teams fall just short, and certainly, I don't know if you ever get over it, but to pick yourself up off the mat and kind of get going, sometimes for teams is really hard to do. It doesn't matter what sport, it's understandable. But we get the sense, again, from the outside, that this group, and I know it's a different group and it's a different year, but you guys kind of seem to be like, let's try and run it back. It goes without saying, but there's a belief, and there's a belief in one another inside that room. Is that fair? Like, it just sort of seems like this. We talked about the special group, but that this group may be able to use that.
Yeah, I mean, right, I think, it's human nature. When you get, a glimpse of something that you really, really like and want, you tend to want it more.
Yeah.
And I think what's cool is everybody understands that, one, our division is hard. Our division is, probably the hardest in sports. So for us to have to get through that, one day at a time, but to understand where we were, come that close to being the last, the last one standing, it puts a little bit of perspective. One, how cool that is. Just to have such a special season, getting to that last inch, but to know that we can do it, and we did do it, and to come that much close to it is something special for us.
You ever see anything like it? I mean, we could talk, again, I don't mean to be opening up old wounds, but just the irony of, you mentioned a game of inches, the ball jammed into the wall there.
Was it actually jammed?
Only the
that-
outfielder will ever know.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it looked like it, you know what I mean? It just kind of is what it is, right?
Put off the bag. I mean, there was just so many moments that it's unbelievable to think about.
That's our game. That's really our game in a nutshell. I mean, it's so hard to get to those spots, and everything has to go your way. And it's more so it just wasn't our time, I think. And I think we're right back to the drawing board, right back to it. And I mean, we're going to give them hell this year and try to get right back there. But
yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Like you have to give them a lot of credit. They got the big hit when they needed it. That they made the play. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's so much of not what we did wrong, what they did right. I think it was an unbelievably played 7 games. I mean, it was really like 8.5 because of the 18-inning game. But I just think it's just kind of one of those things where you tip your cap, you know what you got to do, and you play your ass off all year, and we'll see what happens.
Well, the season gets going on Friday. Quick thought on this team and the season ahead. If you look ahead and you sort of say, here's our goal, or here's our objective, or here's what we're capable of, and maybe just a season preview, what have you got?
yeah, I mean, we brought in some great pieces.
Yeah.
They fit right in the clubhouse, which is really the most important thing for us because, we're so big on culture and everybody kind of pulling in the same direction. So I think they brought in some great character guys and obviously some really good baseball players. And, we know exactly what we need to do. So it's just about going out, executing, and, kind of enjoying the ride again.
Well, if with that being said, are we ready to take our tarps off or what?
Oh,
Yeah,
Are we?
yeah.
It's a little
At
cold.
some point,
Little
the
cold.
tarp will be off.
The nipples are going to be hard.
look at this.
Hopefully they got the police horse ready to roll.
Former male dancer.
Oh, he's going for it.
No.
I didn't know we were
It
going
is
tarp
a little
off
cold
already.
in here.
Yeah, well, I got like 4 shirts on.
All right.
We're live.
Yeah.
I think Jim and I are like, no, we're good.
Yeah, hopefully there's a police a police horse out there somewhere for you.
I love it. Gentlemen, I know you got places to go and people to see. Thank you so much for stopping by. You got the fans here. Jim, stick around because I still got more musical questions for you. We'll let you guys get to wherever you got to go. Thanks again. Best of luck this season.
Thanks, boys.
Starting
Awesome.
on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ernie Clement, George Springer. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you, Ernie. All the best. There you go, Mayday. With thank God he kept his shirt on. Oh, before you go, we got to get you to sign this hat real quick. This hat's going to be auctioned off for charity, and there's a lot of folks in music and there's a lot of folks in sport who've signed that. So George Springer's coming on. Ernie, I'll get you real quick when you're done there. I got to get you to sign this hat, and then we'll let you crowd surf here. And Jim, that's kind of. I mean, you're around athletes all the time. I mean, it doesn't get old for them to be around the musicians. I like it.
Nice, right?
Yeah, it's great. I'm just happy you kept your sweater on.
Ernie, thank you. I am too.
I think we
My
all
gosh.
are. It's a
Oh my God.
family show.
I haven't been working out.
That got really weird for a minute. Thank you, boys.
I got worried.
There they are.
Thanks,
Blue
guys.
Jays getting set
Thanks.
for opening night on Friday.
Jim, hey, thank God the tarp didn't come off. It's just a little too cold out. But I'm ready. I'm committed. I'm
I
committed.
don't want to know. Okay, when we were last talking, we were talking a little bit about Toronto. We talked a little bit of Massey Hall. I wanted to ask you, greatest thrill for you where it was to play? You've gone all over this country. You've gone all over North America, Europe. For you, where does it feel when I'm playing, I feel at home, or I love it the most? Where does it speak to you?
So it's a very unfair question because by now, after 40 years, we've really played everywhere.
Sure.
And you can't imagine. So we
Yeah.
did one tour where we taped every show because we're going to make a live record. And you think Massey Hall,
Yeah.
Place des Arts, Hamilton was the best show. Hamilton was the greatest crowd. Hamilton Place before it was.
Yeah.
So you never know. But playing in Montreal and playing in St. John's, Newfoundland are tough to beat. And those are the places that we rarely do a show the next night.
Would that
Certainly,
be
and when
George
you're-
Street Festival, or is this separate
just,
from that?
we used to play Mile 1
Okay.
or George Street for sure. But with St. John's, you don't play the next day because you're not sure whether you're going to get off the rock. But also, it's just deflating because there's such amazing audiences. And it's the same with Montreal. Place des Arts is where we play a couple nights, and you need a break to just recalibrate for the next audience.
We had a band in here the other day, Jim. I think it was our last home game. The James Barker Band,
Oh, yeah.
Canadian band. They've won a couple. They're up for a couple of Junos this year. They've
Yeah.
won it in the past, and they were talking about influences and named you guys as well. I wonder how often you get to hear that, knowing that you were influenced by big names, no doubt,
Yeah.
and maybe even some smaller bands or groups. What does that mean to you, knowing that maybe you're inspiring the next wave of musicians, regardless of the genre?
Oh, I think that's hugely flattering. But I think it's also the ethos of the band, like to play everywhere, to encourage other musicians to play along with us. I think that's become a bit of a Canadian thing. When we started, if you played in the States, it was competitive. Like if somebody opened for you, they tried to blow you off the stage. In Canada, it's not the way it is. It's very, very, it's very comfortable to be with each other. So
Supportive?
I think it's our ethos as much as our style of music. I mean, James Barker Band. I've actually done a song with those guys. They're great guys.
Come on.
But they're different. They're a different kind of music
Yeah.
than us. But I think it's the way that Canadian bands handle themselves that we have helped to pass on. Lots of bands are like that.
You've got the Junos coming up, and we were chatting a moment ago off camera. A few years ago, Junos in Calgary. I had a chance to meet with you. Somebody said, "Get down here." Jim and people are playing in the basement of the hotel.
Which one are you? Which one are you,
now,
Ryan?
The quality of the photo. It looks like this may have been taken in the 50s.
Hey, Ryan, before you say any more,
Yeah.
which one of the 5 are you?
The guy holding the mandolin
Chrome
backwards.
Dome. I am holding a mandolin backwards.
Yeah.
But Jim, you're on the left. Tom Cochran is standing there, and you had asked, "What song do you want to sing?" And I said, "Could we play Springsteen's I'm on Fire?"
Yeah.
And you guys were singing. I was pretending to play something and singing. Your son was in the room. I don't think he's in the. And who was the gentleman
That's
on
Brad
the right?
Delgarno.
Okay.
Brad Delgarno
was
played for the
talented.
Islanders.
First
That's who
rounder.
it was.
Yep.
First round.
Yeah, first
Hamilton
round.
Steelhawk.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hamilton
Great.
Steelhawks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Brad has been with us all through this Juno thing. Plays obviously for the NHLers, and so the Juno Cup was for years. It was NHLers versus musicians, raised money for a bunch of charities, but ultimately music counts, which helps preserve music programs in schools. So the last one was in Edmonton. So the Edmonton Oilers alumni, and they were serious.
Yeah.
We always get a good goalie. So we had Ben Scrivener on our
yes.
team. Ben was great, and we separate our first period and second period by quality, so that our second period are the better players.
Okay.
And Brad was telling the guys, "You got to get ahead. Like bring some goals up." And they're like, "We'll be all right. We'll be all right." So the second period starts, and we scored 2 goals, so we're ahead by 2 goals. And then it gets serious, and they are playing really hard, and we're up by 1 goal, and it's the last minute and a half, and Ben says, "All I want you to do is keep me at the side, grab their sticks. You're not going to get a penalty." Anyway, we did win that game, which is the very last Juno Cup. So we are the holders of the trophy for forever.
Beautiful.
And they were mad. They did not like it, and they did not take Brad's advice to rack up the score in the first period.
You're a Toronto guy. I got to ask you, maybe your all-time Leaf lineup. If you thought about your all-time favorite Leafs, I know I'm putting you on the spot a little
that's
bit,
all
but, give me a couple of D, 3 forwards, and a goalie of all time for you.
Johnny Bower would be my goalie. Tim Horton, let's go forward. So then it would be, Dougie and Dave Keon are both centers, so I have to move one to the side. Ron Ellis, Dougie, and then who would be the other? Boreas Allman. That'd be my five.
Backhand.
That'd
Beautiful.
be my five.
I'm going to get you to sign that hat as well. We're going to auction that off if you don't mind.
Right on.
And again, this is not new, but it's one every Blue Rodeo, every music fan should have. This is the greatest hits. And
double record, good value.
Double record, and I came across the second best of, the Volume 2 as well
Volume
today.
2's coming out.
That is rock solid. I saw that today. I almost grabbed that one. But you've got some new stuff that you're working on. We should talk a little bit about that.
Well, we're quite a ways through making a new record. I do a lot of traveling, and while I'm traveling, Greg's writing songs, so I come back and he's got 10, 15 songs. So we started about 2 months ago, and we've got a bunch of songs that are, I don't know, you always get excited, but it is exciting, to do a new record.
And the tour.
New material is the most exciting part of our biz. So, so I don't know, it'll be out next year, and we're excited about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're extremely excited and happy that you're able to be here with us tonight, Jim. And
absolute pleasure. Thank you, guys.
For me, because I made the phone call, this was like a big feather in my cap.
Oh, yeah.
That I was able to land a superstar like
this
yourself.
Is big. This is big.
So I might get hired again. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Anyway, it's a pleasure to be with you guys.
Oh, I can't sing. I can't sing.
I want to just ask you, and this is kind of like picking your favorite kid, which nobody should ever do, but is there a song that you've come up with, that you wrote, that you play today, that maybe resonates a little bit more than others? I know you're fond of them all, but I wonder, you've played them all a million times, but for you, is there one that you're like, this one stays with me for good? This is a question from Candace out in Calgary.
First of all, you can't pick a song, but can I tell a related story that is hockey? So at the Juno Cup, we would always have, in between periods, we'd have a sing-off. So I would pick somebody to sing Try, and I would sing Try. So that's a very big song for Blue Rodeo. And I've always thought, anybody can sing. Even the people that say, I can't sing, you say, you can sing. So Lanny was the guy. And Lanny can't sing. Like, it was horrible. It was truly horrible. I was shocked. He's singing, and he creamed me. The crowd response was like, Lanny all the way. Lanny all the way. So that would be my favorite song. My favorite song would be Try, sung by Lanny McDonald.
That is beautiful. I'd like to hear a recording of that one of these days. We wish you the best of luck with the completion of the new work. And that tour, I know, was so huge for you. And you're obviously going to ramp it up again. And certainly you're not slowing down anytime. No. We really appreciate it, Jim. Thanks for sharing some stories, and thanks for sharing the stage tonight. This was a lot of fun for us.
Pleasure, guys.
We appreciate it. He is Jim Cuddy from Blue Rodeo. Pick up all of their work, 7:30 tonight. And the Rangers are here in town tonight. We should talk hockey, but thanks again. You can catch it on Sportsnet and TSN 1050. Again, for George Springer, Ernie Clement, Brad May, and Jim Cuddy, you've been watching Unsportsmanlike content. Enjoy the game and enjoy their music. Get on it.